wake up, bro. June 1st. What's good, y'all? So today we got an interesting topic of conversation. This is an open discussion. This is just ideas. This is a vomit of thoughts, and I think it could be valuable to artists out there. This is gonna be about how to win a Grammy.
Next time I hold a trophy, it's gonna be a Grammy.
Before you get into this video, just a little disclaimer. I don't think winning a Grammy is the most important thing in the world. I don't think that a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about here is the key to being like the greatest artist ever. And I think a lot of people would agree. Most important thing to being an artist and growing as an artist is not having a perfect microphone and having greatest engineering and mixing and all that stuff. And the most important thing starting out as an artist is finding your sound, getting weird, creative, trying shit you've never tried before, being consistent, become who you are, get away from the sounds that you're familiar with and the sounds that you've been influenced by, and getting people to really fall in love with you as an artist first. That's the first step. None of any of this stuff after even matters yet until you know who you are as yourself and your artistry is something that you're proud of. A Grammy shouldn't determine that. At the end of the day, it's just a silly allocate, in my opinion. You don't need a Grammy to be great. So as you go into this video and you watch what we talk about today, just keep that in mind. Be yourself first. Be the greatest you can be. Get weird, get creative, and just be yourself and have fun. That's how you become the greatest version and the greatest artist you can be. I love y'all. First of all, I've never won a Grammy. But I've noticed a few things. I've worked with a lot of big artists. I've seen artists do big things. But I think there's a difference between making hits and building a fan base. There's a difference between getting your streaming numbers and winning a Grammy. Okay? There's two main there's two main aspects to this. Two things. And this is just, to keep in mind, I'm not an expert, okay? I'm just good at observing things. I just notice things. I see the way people move. I see the way people think. So I'm gonna just tell you guys what I've observed and what I think. And you guys tell me what you think. By the way, if you're here for the first time, make sure you guys subscribe. If you like the video and you like this topic of conversation and you like other things like this and music related stuff, make sure you comment and subscribe and like and do all that. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. 100 Days of Summer starting June 1st. So I think there's two main things that we gotta think about here. The music and the target audience. And then one other thing that we're gonna do is we're also gonna go through who've won Grammys. There's 4 major categories. There's Record of the Year, Album of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best New Artist. But okay, first things first. Let's talk about the target audience. The target audience is your listeners, your fans, you would think, right? No, that is wrong. Who picks whether or not you win a Grammy or not? Now, a lot of y'all may know this, a lot of y'all may not know this, but the winners of the Grammy Awards are determined by the Recording Academy's voting members, who are always active music industry professionals. These members include performers,
writers, producers, engineers, and other creative individuals. They vote on both the nominations and the final winners in each category. The voting process ensures that the awards are
based on the artistic and technical merits
of music, artistic and technical,
with a focus on the expertise of those directly involved in the recording process.
The target audience is the Recording Academy's voting members. It is the people who are all music professionals and who are active in the music industry. They all work on music and they've been working on music for a long time. By the way, the average age of the Grammys Recording Academy voting members is probably the same as people in politics and Congress and shit, okay? They're all probably old as fuck. Let's just keep that in mind. Is that a bad thing? Yeah, maybe. We should maybe have term limits, okay? But with that being said, I'm gonna generalize here. Please forgive me for doing so. As an older audience, I don't think it makes it impossible for somebody like Platinum Max to win a Grammy, but you have to keep in mind the audience. You have to keep that in mind with the music that's being made, with what they expect from the quality, what they expect from the recording process, and they can hear it all. I promise you, they can hear it all. And I'm not even 30 yet. And I can hear everything as a professional engineer. I know everything that's going on every frequency at this point. So it's just something to keep in mind. Your fan base, your listeners matter. Of course they matter. You wouldn't be in the position that you're in, and when I say you, I'm talking to the general broad audience, right? You wouldn't be in the position that you're in without your fans. You wouldn't be in the position to possibly win a Grammy one day without your fans, without your listeners, and without your fan base. And it takes all of those things to get into that position, but there does need to be a pivot. Okay, so there's two sides to it when it comes to the target audience. I think there's two sides of it. Side A is they're old. They're old people, old ideas, they're stubborn, and most likely what's gonna cater to their taste buds and to their ears is gonna be stuff that's not pushing boundaries as much as we would like. But then there's side B, and side B is they are creatives and they are industry professionals, and I would hope that at least some of them can appreciate and recognize new sounds, new ideas, and new pockets, and new everything. So there's both sides of it, and there's probably a little bit of both. I don't think it's one or the other. I think there's a little bit of both in that audience of the voting members. And I personally, I don't know exactly what that means, but I think it's something to think about. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think that means. Do you think they're all super stubborn, or do you think that because they're all music professionals, they're open to creativity, they're open to new ideas, they're open to weird things? What do you guys think? I don't know. I have no idea, to be completely honest. But I think it's something to keep in mind. Let's talk about the music. I'm not going to tell you how to be creative, or I'm not going to tell you how to make good music, but I'm going to tell you what industry professionals are going to expect as industry professionals and how to get there. Personally, what I see for a Grammy nomination is perfection from the beginning to the end. When it comes to the technical merits, that's something that I could literally talk about all day because it's my job. That's what an engineer's job is more than anything else, is to make sure all the technical things are as perfect as they can get. And that doesn't just mean the literal technology, by the way. A producer's job, when you have a producer in the room, a real producer, I'm not talking about a beat maker, and yes, there's a difference. When you have a producer in the room helping you produce a song and telling you how to do things, they're helping you find pockets, how to say bars better, add layers and tell you how to sing things certain ways and hit melodies and harmonies certain ways. Those are technical things. Those are very technical. There are technical things and then there's creative things, right? And this is technical. Can be creative too, but this is very technical as well. The technicals have to be perfect. The technical stuff also would include things like the vocal chain. That vocal chain has to be perfect. If you have a cheap ass microphone and you don't know how to use it properly, or if you're recording in a bad room with lots of with things that are messing up your recordings, which, by the way, you can have a bad room that is intentional. It all depends on how you use it, right? There is no right or wrong, but when it comes to technical stuff, if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know how to use the tools that you have at your disposal, you should be consulting you should be going to a professional who knows what they're doing. If we're talking about winning a Grammy, right? You should talk to a professional who knows every single step of the process and who can make every single step perfect in your vision. They can bring it to life, and whatever they can do to make it as technically perfect as possible. It starts from the voice, it starts from the vocals, it starts with the mix, it starts with the recording process, it starts with the mastering, it starts with how it sounds in every speaker. All of those things have to be perfect. When you're talking about the Grammys and you're talking about winning one of the most, at the end of the day, one of the biggest awards of all time, one of the most like what's a good word for it? Like one of the most prestigious awards as a music professional, you have to treat it as such. It definitely kind of sounds like I'm dogging on the kid that's recording in his bedroom that has a Focusrite solo setup. And at the end of the day, as a music professional, I'm not voting for those recordings. I would never vote for recordings that sound like shit. I'm not gonna lie. Because it's everything's got to be perfect. We're talking about sound. We're talking about audio. Do you even know what a Grammy is? Do you know why it's called a Grammy? Because if you don't, what are we doing here? Anyways, so those are the two main things. I could talk about the technical stuff all day, and we could talk about creative stuff all day and artistry, but artistry is really up to you. It's the technical stuff that brings that artistry to life and makes it could be perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck it, I don't need. 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 Fuck it, I don't need.
Yo, when I'm still getting comments of motherfuckers saying it's a perm. Yo, gang, I promise you, this shit not a perm, baby. This shit real. One point that I think is also extremely important to never forget when it comes to this music shit and winning a Grammy, this is never done solo. Nobody does this shit on their own. If you're an artist sitting in your bedroom trying to make every beat by yourself that you go over, trying to mix every single one of your songs that you go over, trying to master everything by yourself, trying to do all your own marketing, trying to do make every clip, edit every video, trying to do everything all on your own, I have something to tell you, bro. You're never gonna make it. Now, that message is for 99.9% of people. There is like a 0.001% that maybe could, but build a team, find people who are great at what they do, and not only use them and use their skills and ask them questions, but trust them to do their jobs. Find people who can do their job well, people who've got good taste. Kanye chose Mike Dean for a reason. I would like to think of myself as the underground Mike Dean if I do say so myself. But you cannot do this without a team. You need the best producers. You need the best engineers. You need the best artists. You need the best writers. You need the best everything. And what's best is up to your discretion. But you can't do it on your own. Cannot do it on your own. If you go and look at any of these credits, I invite you guys, look at these credits of these songs. You know what? So this is a really interesting answer, and obviously I kind of knew this already. That's why I wanted to just ask to make sure. Now, there's a whole bunch of things here. You can pause the video and read right here if you want to. Nature of music production, Grammy, categories, credits, historical context, solo, songwriting cases, Grammy rules and eligibility, closest examples, Billie Eilish and Phineas O'Connell. Why no one has 0 credits. Technical necessity.
Even artists who record at home or in other minimalist setups often use professional studios for mastering or distribution, leaving the credits for mastering engineers or studio staff. Grammy-winning music typically competes in a commercial or professional context, where polished production involves specialized roles, like mixing and mastering, that artists rarely do alone. Academy recognition. The Grammys often award technical categories, best engineered album, non-classical, ensuring that engineers and producers are acknowledged, which makes it unlikely for a project to have no additional credits.
So, the last point I want to make, here's all the awards and nominations for the Grammys, and this just goes by each, if I click these, I can go through all the performers and presenters, see all awards, but it takes me to a new tab, and I don't feel like going through all that. We're just going to skim through this real quick, because the point I want to make is when you think about these songs and you think about how they sounded and where they were played and everything about the songs, think about how industry this music feels when you think about the songs. Not like us, Kendrick Lamar. Cowboy Carter, I don't even know who that is. Not Like Us again. Chapel Roan. Like, just think about how industry these songs and this music sound. Record of the Year, Flowers. I don't know who that is. Album of the Year, Midnights. What was I made for? I don't know what any of the Victoria Monet. I don't know who any of these people are. Gotta look, bro. Oh, About Damn Time was Lizzo. Lizzo, wow, congratulations. Harry's House, Just Like That, Silk Sonic. We Are, John Bass. Yo, like, just think about how professional and how industry all these songs sound. Driver's License, Olivia Rodrigo. These are top competing songs and productions and the most professional shit you could possibly imagine. 24K Magic. We could go down this list all day. The point I'm trying to make here is very simple. As an artist, as a creator, if you want to win a Grammy, you can't do it by yourself, and it cannot be half-assed. If you want to win a Grammy, it has to be the best of the best with collaboration who are also the best of the best. The artist who wants to win the Grammy has to think so big, and they have to think so seriously about it every step of the way, from every note they record and every word that they speak. Because if you don't, the other artists will. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Corbwtf. I love y'all. If you guys like this content, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think. Let me know if there's any points that you think I missed. Let me know if there's anything that you guys want me to talk about, if I need to do a revision on this video. I really appreciate your guys' love. June 1st, we are starting 100 Days of Summer. I love y'all. Peace.